Hello friends, I hope you'll excuse this at arm's length video. This video has two purposes. I would like to introduce you behind me what I call my Waydoo Flyer ONE Plus Pro setup, and also to talk about how the Waydoo Flyer ONE series has been an underestimated machine. An underestimated eFoil, especially in regards to its performance potential. And if you have never tried the Waydoo Flyer ONE Plus series with upgraded wings and prop, you have no idea what you've been missing in regards to the performance potential of this machine behind me. And as a owner of a Waydoo for 4 years since the Kickstarter, even someone like me, I would say I underestimated the potential of this machine. So every single component just adds so much more, performance and range and power, and me being able to upgrade each individual component and witness and experience those changes and those improvements has been an amazing experience and an eye-opener and like a huge lesson in just e-foiling in general. Waydoo has definitely made more than just simple appearance and quality of life changes to the Waydoo Flyer series over the years, and because they have focused more on an introductory and affordable market, those performance changes have not been readily seen, or they've been underestimated even by people like myself, as I've mentioned. And if these small changes have made such a big improvement performance-wise, it just makes me that much more excited to see what is in store for the performance of the Waydoo EVO, because it is extremely obvious that it's more than just simple quality of life and appearance changes, because the EVO is an entirely different eFoil. So I'm excited to see what Waydoo has in store for that, and because they have various different packages available, I hope that they'll also market to the performance crowd as well. So this is the long mast, and it is actually thicker than the original one, which gives a lot more response. And this mast, when used on the Kickstarter board, gave me more response. But as I've continued to add more pieces of the Waydoo Flyer ONE Plus until it was fully complete, it's given me greater appreciation for every single upgrade that Waydoo made to the Flyer ONE Plus package. So today was my first time on the Surfing Tail 322, and man, this thing is awesome. I was able to recover from wingtip breaches better just with this change alone, and it seems a lot more quick and agile. And here we have the Axis 660 Surf Performance Wing adapted with the eFoil Solutions Axis adapter. I'm going to do a further detailed video about this adapter, and then you'll see that the wing, it might be hard to see, but there's a little washer there. So I've actually shimmed it to give it the performance that I really like with this wing. And then also from eFoil Solutions is the Streamline prop, but it is in aluminum instead of 3D printed. And so this gives just a little bit extra performance and speed. I also now have the Waydoo Flyer ONE Plus board, and this was the second to the last piece, a very significant piece that I definitely underestimated maybe the most, is just the board. So when I changed the Kickstarter board to the Flyer ONE Plus board, I noticed a very significant response and upgrade to everything. The Waydoo Flyer deck is more responsive because the foam is more dense than my Kickstarter model. It is better cured, and so Waydoo has perfected the curing process to make it more rigid and also to eliminate any water intrusion, as was the case with some of the original boards. And also the interior aluminum skeletal structure is said to be more lightweight and rigid. And so this board is actually 5 I think it was 4 pounds lighter than my Kickstarter model. And then there's no water intrusion, so once I get it out on the water, it's even lighter than the Kickstarter one. And when I'm swapping the individual pieces, such as the old board to the new board with the new mast, I'm able to better appreciate and recognize the differences and improvements and upgrades that Waydoo has made to the entire package, upgrading them individually. So, you know, that really gave me better appreciation for everything, being able to do that, to try the individual parts as I acquired them and added them to my old board, and then eventually piecing together a complete Waydoo Flyer ONE Plus package that was upgraded. And I've also tried the Waydoo Flyer ONE Plus default package, and it's nowhere near as performance as this package behind me. Like, for example, I wasn't able to carve as hard. It would make a sound as if it were cavitating. And I'll have an example right after this about that. Oh man. I just can't take those sharp turns with the prop guard on, I don't think. Holy smokes! There we go. That was a deep enough edge dive to cause the resistance necessary to cause that cavitation type noise. It's just, that was way too much for the motor to handle. Woo! So right there, that's the limitation of the machine right there. Once you upgrade the wing and you change it to, even if it's just the patroller wing or the racing wing, and you upgrade it to, say, the folding prop of Waydoo, like, even if all the pieces are Waydoo pieces and not eFoil solution pieces, the difference between the introductory default package and this, and especially when comparing to the Kickstarter package, like, oh my goodness, like, I am loving it. I'm loving it so much that I went a little overboard. I was riding at like near full speed the entire time, just carving like crazy. Went a bit too far, and maybe some of you who follow me a lot notice that I'm here at the Waydoo Marina. This is not where I normally go, so I actually ran out of battery. Because I was just having too much fun. So I haven't done that in a while, where I've ran out of battery this far away, and very rare to do anyway. But I have some friends behind me from Lake Powell Experience. So if you're in the area looking for a surfing tour, something like that, I'll put a link in the description. And so they're gonna give me a ride back to my car so I can come back and retrieve my gear and go home. So I guess one other piece that I forgot to talk about is the, we'll start with the battery here. So this is the Flyer ONE Plus battery. It does have the magnetic switches, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about those wearing out. But my old one, I got a kit from a guy named Julian in Europe for swapping out the push button buttons into magnetic ones off to the side. And it's a fairly easy, but a time-consuming but easy fix that anyone could probably do. I'm not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to doing fixes like it, but I was able to do it. And because I was able to fix my old battery, that gave me reason to buy additional things to have two boards once again, because I sold my foil board because the company's out of business. I have a whole video explaining why I sold that. And so some of that money from the sale was to buy another package so I can share living life to the fullest with other people and friends and family. So now I have two complete packages again, because you know the battery is the most expensive part. So I'm really stoked that I have two batteries now. So great customer service from Waydoo, eFoil Solutions, eFoil Miami, Green Hat. So big thanks to all of them and all of you. But so yeah, the last thing was this remote. There's nothing really that changed the performance, but it does give me some nice little buzz warnings when I'm at a quarter power or a half power, etc. But I kind of ignored those and ran out of battery still. And it floats. I'll show you that. It floats in of itself. Check this out. It floats in of itself. Barely. But it's nice to have something bright so that you can see it better in the water should it fall off your wrist. And maybe not every single one of these remotes float, so I would test it first. You know, for example, you can take this part off and test your remote to make sure it floats in case this were to come unclipped. And it floats just fine. So again, if I pull this floaty underwater, the very top wants to come up. So it's kind of a neutral buoyancy, but it floats in of itself. Mine does anyway. Sweet. The buttons are more clicky. It just feels just a little bit better, newer. So it didn't really change the performance any. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go hop on a boat ride to go get my car and come back and load things up, and I'm gonna make sure that I do better to not run out of battery. All right, live life to the fullest. See you next time. Lake Powell experience. And here we are, back at State Line, original launch ramp. Thank you very much, Lance, for the ride.
You betcha.
All right, an ice cream canyon over that way behind the kayakers. Good place to go. There's a wall weep window way back here. That's a popular place to go see via kayak. And then there's a big sand dune behind this rock. Man, so much adventure to be had at Lake Powell, even in just Wall Weep Bay.